every app is saying a lot of apps now we're seeing they say they have AI capabilities or AI this, AI that. Even if someone isn't using our platform, and you've even mentioned this with other platforms that have like an AI feature and you've tested them out, how does someone sniff through the BS and be like, does this platform actually have the AI capabilities they say they do? Or like, what are good AI capabilities within the current platforms out there? You don't have to name, let's say, the platforms, but rather what capabilities are you seeing? And like, or should they really be saying they have AI capabilities?
I mean, AI is like a funny thing. Like, the best way to describe it is AI is what you call something that doesn't work. AI doesn't work because you have to say it's AI. Otherwise, it's just a feature. Yeah. Like the TikTok algorithm, the Instagram Reels algorithm is largely machine learning driven, but you don't talk about it as AI. It's just the thing that drives people. Yeah, it's an algorithm, right? So what most people see as AI tools are large language models, or maybe like some multimodal model, but it's just like not deterministic, but essentially predictive kind of system of what is what they're saying, what is the next likely like output I need to give. So you can have these like ChatGPT or any number of large language models out there sort of integrated to a product where it's basically like a glorified chatbot. In a lot of cases, it's even less than a chatbot, where the company has taken a master prompt. So they've built like a giant prompt that's maybe, who knows how big it is. They've put this into the
LLM.
Yeah, the LLM, and basically said like, hey, people will ask you questions, follow this prompt, and then give an output.
Got you.
So you're gonna go in and say like, hey, write me a program like this. And it's like the prompt is, you're a weightlifting coach, or you're a this and that, answer in these ways. Maybe there's some formulaic stuff. There's more advanced techniques like, retrieval augmented generation and stuff.
You just made that word up.
I did, which give you a little bit more substance to it. But ultimately, you're just asking it to take its knowledge base of the world and generate something for you. That's one use of it. And that's not a useless thing. It's just that it's no different than just going to ChatGPT on a website and asking for an output and then inputting it to your app, right?
Got you.
The other side of AI stuff is like bespoke models or using AI techniques to generate something. So like what I showed you guys yesterday, the weightlifting program, that was generated with our own AI stuff. So it's not actually like a ChatGPT. It's not a language model that does that. It's its own model that we have created the logic and the systems and the code for this, and then run it through machine learning, and it gives us a report, or it gives us an output, right? That's another layer of it, where there's smaller bespoke things that are actually being used to build something. And then the final thing is like computer vision, which is another modality where it's actually able to watch a video and break that down and extract information from it. Most apps right now are just ChatGPT in a small window or stuck in there that you can ask questions to, and maybe it gives you an output that's all text-based. What we do, and our goal is, the language models and the agents that are going to be inside the app that are operating in there will be able to control the app. So you'll be able to ask the chatbot that exists in there, hey, like you can see it now, like build me 5x3 at 80%, and it will generate those sets into the workout for you. Or you can ask it to generate the whole workout, and it will take the output and format it into a way that the system can then implement it into the cells that we use. Because
the one you mentioned too, you said you're talking to another coach using a different platform with a AI chatbot, and it like produced it via text. That coach still has to then look at the text and then write it into their cells.
Yeah, they could just do that. Yeah,
you just do that. You could just have that with GPT up on your other tab, right? It's not with Coach Logic. You used the reference yesterday. It's like the AI capabilities behind Coach Logic. It's like using a nuclear bomb to blow up a car.
A single car. Yeah.
There's so much more behind it that we just haven't. We're still polishing up, but like ultimately, even where it's at now, it's like with the LLM stuff, it still adds the cells, the sets and reps and everything to the workout, so the coach doesn't have to click around anymore. It's there, and you can edit it if you want, but it's doing it for you. Yeah,
and the reason why it's important to go from text-based into the format we use, which is, you have every rep and set and value is calculated, is that you can track data that way. You can create like a string, like a text-based system, and then try to interpret it, but language models are not going to be good at that. So like, it collecting a bunch of data and then storing it and doing this, it's just a silly way it's a weird way to use that tool. So all the systems and apps that exist out there where you're just typing in what you want, you're not going to be able to collect great data on that. And the problem with that I see is that it it violates one of those two things, letting a coach do their job easier or doing it better. If you don't have good data, we can't give you good insights on, hey, you should do this or that, or you should adjust this in their training, or they're maybe going to get injured, or whatever it is, right? Whatever things we can learn from data will be much easier to extract with our system, right?
What about with like UI? So one of the things we've just done a big UI refresh.
Yeah.
I know like before it was really just like the bare bones, like almost like like a developer built it.
Yeah,
not like
yeah.
someone who specialize. I don't know if developers, do they specialize in UI? Like there's people out there that's
You
what
want
they
a
do.
designer, not a
Yeah.
developer.
Okay. Well, see, I don't know any of these things. I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
am on Instagram. But I find like looking at how other platforms are marketing their stuff, some of the platforms that I find that are pretty shitty, for lack of a better term, they have really flashy UI
Yeah.
or they have really flashy marketing. They're hiring influencers as affiliates. Like it's a churn and burn method.
Yeah.
Volume play, get people in the door. Coaches are leaving to the next best thing. At least for me, like the way what we're doing differently is we're doing stuff like this. We're talking about educational pieces.
Yeah.
We want to provide value, not only value in using the product, but value in being a part of our product community, I guess you could say. Whereas a lot of these other platforms, they just don't care about you. Like they don't care about the end user, and they're just using their flashy marketing or highly paid social media consultant to get stuff out there. Like we're doing stuff bare bones, partially because we're poor. But really, realistically, it's because like it's value first, right? It's the product has to be valuable.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. It's like ultimately what you're trying to do is create something that augments the coach's job. Like it's a tool at the end of the day. So us trying to convince you to buy it is less important than us showing you, hey, this is going to make your life a lot easier, or it's going to really improve stuff for you as far as like retention and being able to actually deliver and improve people's lifting. The thing about a lot of these apps, like you said, though, is like it's easy to get a designer and a small team together and produce a really high quality, nice looking app. But at the end of the day, like the core functioning of the product is what's most important. Is it really like doing something that is unique that helps coaches? If it's not, if it's just another like glorified messaging app with a little twist, like, oh, we use this thing instead of that, or it does it this way instead of that way, it's like ultimately there's nothing there that's special to me. And I think like there's no reason to build this if it's not going to be 10 times better than what's out there.
So let's finish on this note. What would you say to the person listening to this that either they're already using an app that's not Coach Logic, we're sad, or they're a freak in the sheets, they're still in their Google Sheet, and they've created all their formulas, and it's like this polished sheet they've been loving and using. Like, what do you say to that person? Why should they migrate? Why should they even just book a demo with you personally to like go over the app?
I say I've got a gun. Buy the app or you're done.
That's like the Royce DuPont. That's the entrepreneur.
Yes. Best negotiating tactic I've ever found. I think a lot of it is to say, do you feel like what you're doing now will allow you to scale to the next level? And scale not just in the size of your business, but are you going to be able to deliver something better than you are now with what your tools are? If it's spreadsheets and these things, like that's fine. You can use your spreadsheets and do all these things. But like at the end of the day, is that really a system that's going to allow you to continue to deliver a better experience? If you're sending spreadsheets to somebody and making them use a spreadsheet on their phone in the gym and leave feedback there, you're a terrible human being. It's an awful experience. So it's like, are you really thinking like, I'm going to be in a place in 2 years with the systems I'm using that are delivering a really fantastic experience for my clients? Or is it the same stuff that's just been going over and over and over again?
I think the best frame for this is, what are your clients saying?
Yeah.
Like we had a demo call with someone I think recently where like they literally told us straight up that the clients don't fill out their spreadsheet. Yeah. They're sending out a sheet to every one of their clients.
I know
like,
exactly what you're talking
Yep.
about.
Every one of their clients in a group training format where the clients have, I think, semi-individualized programming. Yeah. And he's like, no one fills it out. We just send it out. And it's like, if your clients aren't using whatever interface you're using, if they're not actually inputting their data, I can tell you right now, like you're doing it wrong. I'll look in the camera. You're doing it wrong.